So how do I feel when my gender or sexuality is misunderstood or disrespected? In terms of being misunderstood, it can be heartbreaking. It depends where it's coming from. Like if I tell somebody and then they make a general assumption, but then I'm like, no, that's actually not true. Then they listen with an open heart, open ears, and a blank canvas of a brain. Like they don't come in with their pre-biases on what they already know about a certain label or certain pronouns, whatever that might be. That's a good misunderstanding because then they get to learn from it and hold themselves accountable and unlearn what they once thought. If it's misunderstanding, but then try to fight it as if they know better than me in terms of my own gender or sexuality, then it's very disrespectful. And it's just very, like, I don't even know how to put it into words actually, because it just gets me angry. It's just like, how can you come in here thinking you know more than me, but you're doing this? It mainly comes from a place of a lack of knowledge, but also you not being comfortable at the moment because I'm not able to fit into a box that you once thought I was in. So like when people perceive me as girl a lot of the time, or if I'm masculine presenting, I do get called boy, which is fine. As I said, I don't mind. But then once they find out that I'm either a girl when I'm masculine presenting, or they find out that they learn that I'm gender fluid, they're like, what the hell does that mean? Like, that's not true, or whatever that might be. That's a bad misunderstanding because it's just, and you're not willing to learn about it as well. So that's where I'm like, you know what? You're not worth my time. See ya. I'm out of here. And then when it's disrespected, when it's intentionally disrespected, it really hurts. Like when you get misgendered on the daily, or a common thing that I hear in terms of my asexuality is that, well, I learned it from people, but then I also learned it within myself that I had to get over, was that because so many people see sex as an important part of a relationship, as a romantic relationship, that I'm not going to be able to have one because I'm asexual. And that was really hard. That was just so disrespectful because not everybody like sex isn't a valuable part of a relationship. That's just what we've learned sex to be, an important part of a relationship, of a romantic relationship. Like, no, and it's so not true. And it took me forever to unlearn it. And I'm still like sort of unlearning it because there still are times where it's like, I'm going to be alone forever because of the fact that I don't want to have sex. But then I psych myself out of it. But then people, and a lot of times media will just be like, no, sex is a very important thing. And it's important to all of that. And then even within the queer community as well, it's like they all talk like, yeah, love who you want, have sex with whoever you want. And then it can feel isolating in that sense as well. Because whether it's a queer relationship, a straight relationship, a big part of it is sex. So then when I hear people say that, like, I'm not going to be able to get, like, have a romantic relationship with someone, it is so hurtful. And then in terms of gender, when I'm misgendered, like, people use different pronouns to what I want that day, or when I'm most comfortable that day, or call me, like, say, you're not gender fluid, you're a girl, like, you'll always be a girl. It hurts. It used to hurt a lot more than what it does now, because now I'm just kind of like, external validation means nothing to me. But at the end of the day, it really bloody hurts. It's like if, like, you had like with your parents or whoever that might be, with your parents, for example, it's like if you started calling your mum your dad and started like addressing you as if your mum was your dad, they're not going to be too happy about that. They're not going to, like, they're going to be really disrespected. It's the exact same when it's similar when it comes to gender. Like, it's only when it's framed in a way that someone else will understand what it's like to be disrespected in that way that they'll actually understand it. So it's like if I were to call my mom my dad, she wouldn't be too happy with that. But then it'll explain to her that misgendering, like being misgendered, it doesn't feel good to me. It is very, very disrespectful.